Whenever we see somebody holding a glass of a sparkling beverage, it could be champagne, prosecco, cava, zero alcohol sparkling, we instinctively assume one thing, right? They must be celebrating. It could be a birthday, an anniversary, another milestone, a spontaneous toast with friends. That lifted glass with a sparkling beverage sends a universal signal. Something good is happening. Let's be present and joyful. What if that moment could be more of a way of life? I believe that our lives, and certainly our well-being, should be more of a celebration and less of a checklist. And that is the heartbeat of Santé. Santé is a philosophy, a framework that I created to help people craft a sparkling life with intentional presence, joy, and meaning. Santé means to your health in French, but it's so much more than just a toast. It's a mindset, it's a metaphor, it's a movement, and it's inspired by the ancient art of making champagne. Champagne is so much more than just a glass of bubbles or fizz. It's a story of transformation. A grape doesn't become champagne overnight. It gets gently harvested and pressed and balanced and mixed with the right ingredients and put into the dark to evoke its inner effervescence, and then becomes this universal elixir of joy and celebration. So I began to ask myself, what if we use the champagne making process as a mirror for our lives and a lens for well-being? And this wasn't an idea I got at a wine farm. It's a lived story. I'm South African born, from parents who come from the Champagne region in France. Champagne has been a common thread throughout my life. I always knew I wanted to be a teacher or a trainer, and so I trained and qualified as a dietitian, and then I moved from clinical practice into workplace well-being. And for the last 2 decades, I have worked with many leaders and their teams, helping them take a more proactive role in their well-being. But something always felt off. Well-being can often seem contradictory, complicated, clinical, and so I longed for a way to speak about it that was more reachable, real, radiant. Santé is that language. And boy, do we need a new language, because the current culture of success and living is not serving us. So many of us are feeling the opposite of sparkling. We're tired, deflated, numbing ourselves with busyness, and completely forgetting to feel joyful. Santé reminds us and teaches us how to design a life with the same art and care as a winemaker prepares a vintage. The champagne making process has got so many steps that teach us profound lessons about well-being. We start with the vine, which is all about our roots, what grounds us, our values, our connection to the terroir and nourishment, and to nature and the seasons of our lives. We then move into the bottling process, which is all about the pressing and the balancing, and we discover how internal chemistry affects our output and the importance of boundaries, and specifically of stillness and rest. And then we move into the celebration, you know, that famous sound where the cork is popped and then the drink is poured and a glass is lifted, and we come together, this communion of celebration, a different kind of AI, authentic intimacy where we give ourselves permission to be present and happy. The most enchanting step in the champagne making process for me is called la prise de mousse, literally translated as the capturing of the sparkle. It's what makes champagne different to other sparkling wines. So yeast and sugar are added into the bottle, and then the bottle is left in the dark to evoke the fermentation and the bubbles and the effervescence. When you know what you need to cultivate your inner sparkle, you become your own CEO, Chief Effervescent Officer. And when you speak about effervescence and inner joy, you invite a whole new possibility into your life. This is the future of well-being, not surviving biohacking or extreme programs, but choosing to live an intentional life with a sense of meaning, purpose, permission for joy, and making every day a champagne moment. Santé.